Hello, everyone. Welcome to Therapy Clips with Dr. O. I'm from the organization Human Service Consultants. And today we're going to focus on 12-step introduction. I'm going to answer a few questions for you about 12-step meetings. And so the first question is, what is a 12-step meeting? In 1930, Dr. Bill and Bob developed Alcoholics Anonymous. So these two men could not cope with their alcoholism through psychiatry or medicine. So they founded a group that's based on specific principles that help people overcome their alcohol dependence. Well, since the forming of AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, other self-help groups have also developed. And so these groups are Crystal Meth Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, and other groups like Naranon and Narateen, and also Gamblers Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. So there's different groups that utilize the 12-step program. People dependent on drugs or alcohol have found that others who are also dependent can help them with a lot of support. And so these people are of support to each other. It's for this reason these groups are called fellowships. The participants in the group show concern and support for one another through sharing and understanding. Question 2. Do I need to attend 12-step meetings? If treatment in a program is going to work for you, it is essential to establish a network of support for your recovery. Attending treatment sessions without going to 12-step meetings may produce a temporary effect, but without involvement in mutual help programs, that's what they call them too, mutual help programs or 12-step programs, it is very unlikely that you will successfully recover. Clients in these programs should attend 3 12-step meetings per week during their treatment involvement. Many successfully abstinent people go to 90 meetings in 90 days. The more you participate in treatment and 12-step meetings, the greater your chance for recovery. Question 3. Are all meetings the same? No. There are different types of meetings. Speaker meetings feature a person in recovery telling his or her story of drug and alcohol use and recovery. Topic meetings have a discussion on a specific topic such as fellowship, honesty, acceptance, patience. Everyone is given a chance to talk, but no one is forced. Step tradition meetings are special meetings where the 12 steps and the 12 traditions are discussed. Book study meetings focus on reading a chapter from the main text of the 12-step group. For AA, this is called the Big Book. For NA, it's called the Basic Text. Book study meetings often focus on someone's experience or a recovery-related topic. Depending on where you live, there may be language-specific meetings, gender-specific meetings, open meetings, meetings based on participant sexual orientation, and meetings for people who have a mental disorder. This is called the Dual Recovery Anonymous meeting. The next question. Are the 12-step programs religious? No. None of the 12-step programs are religious, but spiritual growth is considered a part of recovery. Spiritual choices are very personal and individual. Each person decides for himself or herself what the term higher power means. Both non-religious and religious people can find value and support in 12-step programs. How do I find a meeting is the next question. You can call directory assistance, check the phone book, go online, and you will find a directory of all of the meetings. And you can make contact with the individuals who can also tell you where meetings are and when they're scheduled. So these directories are readily available online. So all you would need to do is look for Alcoholics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Meth Anonymous, and any other type of 12-step meeting that you're interested in attending. So now we're going to speak about sponsors and the significance of sponsors. The first few weeks and months of recovery are frustrating. Many things happen that are confusing and frightening. During this difficult period, there are many times when people in recovery need to talk about problems and fear. A sponsor helps guide you through this process. And when you attend meetings for the very first time, you are considered a newcomer to the meeting. What do sponsors do? Sponsors help the newcomer by answering questions and explaining the 12-step recovery process. Sponsors agree to be available to listen to their sponsorees' difficulties and frustrations and to share their insights and solutions. Sponsors provide guidance and help to address problems their sponsorees are having. This advice comes from their personal experience with long-term abstinence. Sponsors are people with whom addicted-related secrets and guilt feelings can be shared easily. They agree to keep secrets confidential and to protect the newcomer's anonymity. Sponsors warn their sponsorees when they get off the path of recovery. Sponsors often are the first people to know when their sponsorees experience a slip or a relapse. So sponsors often push their sponsorees to attend more meetings or get help for problems. Sponsors help their sponsorees work through the 12 steps. How do you pick a sponsor? The process of choosing a sponsor is easy. The newcomer simply asks someone to be his or her sponsor. But you need to think carefully about whom you will ask to sponsor you. Most people select a sponsor for what seems to be living a healthy and responsible life. The kind of life a person in recovery would want to lead. Some general guidelines for selecting a sponsor include: a sponsor should have several years of abstinence from all mood-altering drugs. A sponsor should have a healthy lifestyle and not be struggling with major problems or addiction. A sponsor should be active and regularly participating in 12-step meetings. Also, a sponsor should be someone who actively works the 12 steps. A sponsor should be someone to whom you can relate. You may not always agree with your sponsor, but you need to be able to respect your sponsor. A sponsor should be someone you would not become romantically interested in. So what are some alternatives to 12-step programs? There are many alternatives to 12-step programs, many of which are not based on the concept of a higher power. Although the philosophies of these groups differ, most often mutual help approaches are the focus, and personal responsibility, personal empowerment, and strength through abstinence in the social network is very important. So here are a few alternatives to 12-step programs, and I'll call them by name. Women for Sobriety. This group helped women to overcome alcohol dependence through emotional and spiritual growth. Jewish alcoholics, chemically dependent persons, and significant others. Help people explore recovery in a nurturing Jewish environment. Smart Recovery is a cognitive behavioral group approach that focuses on self-reliance, problem solving, coping strategy, and a balanced lifestyle. Secular Organization for Sobriety maintains that sobriety is a separate issue from religion or spirituality and credits the individual for achieving and maintaining sobriety. Community-based fellowship programs, which take place in church, synagogues, mosques, temples, and other spiritually focused settings, often help people clarify their values and change their lives. Here are some questions to consider. Have you ever been to a 12-step meeting? If so, what was your experience? Have you attended any other type of recovery meetings, such as the ones I just mentioned? And how did you like it? What was your experience? Do you plan to attend any 12-step meetings? When and where? How might you make use of 12-step meetings to stop using? Are alternatives to 12-step meetings what you should consider? I am Dr. O. It's been delightful working with you through video conversation. I really enjoy the work that I do in order to help you to maintain your sobriety and your recovery process. I do this with motivation, I do this with spirit, and I do this with love. And with that being said, I want to say to you, be blessed today, and don't forget, love always.